Hello everyone. If you can hear me, please let me know by typing something into the chat. Awesome. Thank you guys. So, my name is Charlie and you are watching Altcoin Mentors. Today, I am, as every week, going to be talking about the price action in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies in the past week and give you a little bit of a preview of what I expect to happen in the next week, along with my strategy for exactly how to approach that. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button if you want to get some awesome technical and fundamental analysis, as well as trading tips for cryptocurrencies. Personally, my father and I, who I run the channel with, we both believe that cryptocurrency investing and trading is your best opportunity for achieving lasting financial freedom in your lifetime. There aren't that many, so there's the dot-com bubble, and I truly believe that the cryptocurrency bubble is going to be far exceeding that. In fact, it already has in a lot of respects, and you should be doing everything that you can to be taking advantage of that. That was kind of a long intro, but let's bring it back into the screen share. Cool. So, if you are not in our Telegram channel, first of all, you should be. We post charts, all our videos, we post trading tips and whatnot all throughout the week. So if you want to get a little bit more of us and our thoughts on cryptocurrencies, you can see I just posted a swing trade on Bitcoin Cash that is up nicely so far. Then you can follow us in Telegram. So that is going to be altcoinmentors.com/Telegram, where you can find us there. And secondly, you can go to altcoinmentors.com/strategy to get the strategy notes that I'm about to present into your inbox on every Sunday. Again, that is altcoinmentors.com/strategy. All right. So, as always, I'm going to start with Bitcoin. Or something new this week is that I am going to recap what I said last week, and then we'll see how correct that was. And then we're going to go into Bitcoin, a few altcoins, the strategy, and then a Q&A. So last week, I had given a recap of the larger weekly chart in Bitcoin, and it is unchanged for this week as well. I still expect us to get into the region between $48,000 and $82,000 per Bitcoin as long as $3,000 holds. And then it dove right into things with the chart on the 6-hour time frame, where I had this line in the sand at $7,077, where that was the level that I really wanted it to hold. And we'll see, and you can see that I was only off by $17. So it got down to $70.60 and only broke that level of $70.70 for probably just less than 10 minutes. So it did hold it and has since rallied up quite well from there. And is there anything else that I wanted to say from the last week? Nope, I don't think so. I guess the main point to take away is that technical analysis is not just some voodoo magic, people. It does work. So first of all, let's that's the same chart, I think. Oh, no, that is different. Yeah, I wanted to show off a slightly larger time frame. So I said last week that Bitcoin needs to rally off impulsively off of the support that it ends up hitting, or else we're going to see lower. And if we see any lower from here, so if we get a strong break of 70.60 and we retest that region again and it fails, then I think that we might be in for some more hurt, which means probably a break of the 6,400 lows in April and probably also the 5,900s in February. In fact, the quote ideal target really would be about 4,800 for Bitcoin to complete this correction. However, it has rallied up impulsively so far, so there's not really a good case to be made that we should be expecting those lower lows. In fact, I think that the bullish case is much, much stronger. It's a little bit less clear with Bitcoin specifically, but if you look at Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, a lot of other altcoins, they're setting up very strongly for it to be very bullish. And I know that some of you who are, if you're new to the channel or new to watching me at all, you're going to think that I'm just a perma bull, that I'm always bullish on cryptocurrencies, when in fact that could not be further from the truth. I am a trader. My dad is a trader, and we both try to call the market as we think, and we don't try to do anything. We don't try to impose our own views on it. So, okay, I won't go on a rant right now. I'm going to head it off right there. But over here in this area, I was calling for a correction, which we got. As soon as we rallied up correctively here, I was calling for a drop here. Did think that this was a bottom, and not being, at least not for Bitcoin. It was for a few alts. And then I will admit I was quite bearish here because you had a pretty clear continuation triangle, but it ended up being a giant short squeeze. And we started this trend up, which turned into an impulse. And since then, I've been looking for a three-wave correction down, which we got, and holding above the lows here, which we did. So there is not much reason in my mind to consider the bearish case until we start breaking supports in Bitcoin. So let me show you what those supports are. Now, off of the lows, what we're looking for is 5 waves up. I shouldn't have done this so close to everything, but it's okay. It still shows the point. We're looking for 5-wave move up. And you can see that this is what I expect until we do not get it. So it's in practice, it's always a little wonky, but you can see that there's a clear 5 waves up that I would expect. And for us to break this, because there are rules in Elliott Wave, it absolutely should not cross below 75.67. If we get below 75.67, then at that point it becomes very likely that we do see a break below 70.60, and then a break below 6,400, and then a break below 5,900. So if this line holds, again, 75.67, or let me be 75.69, so let's say 75.70. If that breaks, I will be stopping out of the majority of my positions. Short-term positions. Long-term ones I'll still hold, since we are closer to support than resistance in the long term. Why 65.69? So that was the first impulse up. So let's just give a little bit more context here for Elliott Wave if you're new to it. The most basic structure in Elliott wave is going to be the 5-wave pattern. And in the 5-wave pattern, which is called an impulse or a motive wave, this wave 4 right here should not go below the end of the first wave. So if it's below here, this is invalid. But as long as it stays above it, it is still valid. And so that means that if this is going to stay an impulsive wave, then since we got this wave 1, at no point should we see a break below that until we have completed a 5-wave pattern. So is that clear? If not, please let me know. Let's move on. So this was a scenario that I originally thought was going to be extremely unlikely. I had mapped this out first when we made a low here that was close to here, and didn't really expect the rest of this to fill out, but it actually did. And so while this originally started out as very low probability, we're hitting the trend lines very well. You can see it was almost a perfect hit of this bottom trend line. And so the more I look at it, the more I start to like this scenario. In a triangle, according to Elliott wave theory, you have 5 waves, and so these would be the 5 waves. You had one down from the 20,000 to 5,900, up made a lower high, and you have a higher low, another lower high, and then another higher low. And a triangle is usually a triangle signifies the second to last wave, whether it's a B wave in an ABC or the 4th wave in a 5-wave move. And given the stance of the rest of the market, I am going to have to lean that this is a 4th wave and not a B wave. If it was a B wave, that would mean that we see one more leg up to here and then down into that zone between 3,000 and 4,800. But because I do think that the market is overall in a bullish stance, I will have to say that it is highly likely that the triangle has completed and that we are now in the first wave of the impulse that will take us into the 48,000 to 82,000 region that I had mentioned before. Have I heard of reversals happening the 6th of each month? I've not. The 6th? Okay, let's see. So this was the 6th. Okay, there's a reversal. It's one. The next 6th. Okay, interesting. 6th. That is actually fairly compelling. But if we go back a little bit more, yeah, maybe it's possible. I wouldn't trade on it, but it's a possibility. Markets do tend to be cyclical in nature, so it's definitely possible. Heard July 6th is another crash. That's in a long time. So maybe. Can't tell you right now that that's going to happen. All right. What else should I cover for Bitcoin? Yes. So Bitcoin is alone in that it's ambiguous long term. So if I zoom out to the 12-hour, you can see just how many possibilities. These are only 4 of the possibilities actually that I have. I have 3 more in other charts. But you have the leading diagonal here, you have a larger triangle, and then you have the leading diagonal down. And then also you have this being a B wave, you have this being a B wave, You have, there are actually even more than that. But the point is that not everything is ambiguous as Bitcoin. In fact, if you look at Ethereum, Ethereum is quite cut and dry. Oh, this is not labeled. Okay, that's unfortunate. But you're going to have to take my word for it that at some point this was a labeled chart and it probably just wasn't saved. But there are not that many possibilities for Ethereum here, or at least not ones that are likely at this point, because it had such a clean impulse up and a clean correction down. Is Bitcoin not the moon that moves the tides? It is. That is a good point. And I'll counter that by saying that directionally, yes, in general, you're going to get moves in the same, alts are going to move in the same direction as Bitcoin. But as you know, if you've been through a past alt season, the magnitude of those moves is not always the same. So if we had a Bitcoin large move up to near all-time highs, alts would most likely move up to higher than all-time highs, or maybe less. And then we would correct down for this wave 2, and maybe alts would some alts, depending on where they were in their structures, they would correct less, some would correct more. And then we would go up for a large motive wave. And again, inside of these waves, you would have some alts mooning and some alts not, depending on where they were in their structures. So yes, I agree that at one point in time, if Bitcoin is going up, it is likely that alts are going up, but the magnitude is going to be different, and that is what will make the differences in structures between charts tenable. Okay, so let's move on to some of the altcoin setups that I was tracking. Did I already open Bitcoin Cash? I think these are fine. These are just the largest coins, except for Litecoin. I don't track Litecoin. Bitcoin Cash had the cleanest swing trade setup that I had seen so far, and pretty much exemplifies the structure of Bitcoin Cash is almost identical to everything else in the market on the micro. So this is a 30-minute chart where the bottom here is from the May 28th, about a week ago. So you had a clear impulse up for 1, a correction for 2, and then a third wave up from here. As you can see, it was larger in magnitude. So Jose asked, when do you think the bull run will really begin? The bull run will really begin when you have a primary, not a primary, what degrees? A minute. When you have a minute third wave starting. So after we have this first wave up and then a corrective move down for 2, you're going to see people being really bearish here, and this is really when you're going to want to buy. And then you're going to really see some ridiculous runs here. This is going to be a run from approximately $10,000 up to $50,000. If this plays out. Keep in mind, there's other ways that this could go. But, as always, if you follow me, I will be doing play-by-play of this market. And you'll know exactly when I think the biggest bull run will really start. But the thing is that bull runs are, there's lots of opportunities to make money before the big bull run, right? So even this move up is going to be 2x in Bitcoin. It's probably going to be more than that in other altcoins. So I wouldn't wait. Personally, I wouldn't wait unless you are extremely long-term oriented. I would not wait. Well, even then, because most likely your buy-in point is not going to be as good as it is right now. And I'm seeing now that Periscope is not working. Or at least the chat for Periscope is not working. So, okay, I guess it's just totally not working. That is highly unfortunate. I will not try to fix that right now, but we'll investigate that later. Thank you for letting me know. But yeah, altcoin setups. I tweeted this out earlier where Bitcoin Cash had a very nice move up and is now going to work on a few more squiggles up. So it should get a fourth wave down here, and then you get a nice swing. We'll get a nice swing trade up to here, probably. And then you get another fourth wave move down where I'll buy more, and then fifth wave up, sell it all. And then if we get the completion of this 5-wave pattern, that's when I'm going to say that definitively that we are not going to see lower lows. Maybe not definitively, but 95% chance that we will not see lower lows if this 5-wave move completes and then holds above support. So sell at the end of wave 1 and wait till the end of 2. So I wouldn't sell all of it. And the reason for that is that cryptos have a tendency to have shallow second waves. So it could have a second wave all the way up here at only 15,000, or it could be as deep as 7,000, as like 7,100. So it's very variable, and sometimes it's very shallow. So unless you're very, very nimble, it's not good to be selling all at one time and then buying it all back at another time. It's much better, at least in my opinion, it's much better to do it in stages. So maybe take off 30% here and buy back 50% more here. Or if you want to be a little bit more nimble, maybe take off half your position and then buy back on the way down. But yeah, you just really have to embrace probability instead of certainties whenever you're doing anything related to trading. Yeah, Bitcoin Cash has a very nice trade setup. Probably the best swing trade setup out of all of the larger cap altcoins. Of course, once Bitcoin completes its move up, this is the wrong chart. I'll go to Ripple in the meantime. Ripple again has a very similar structure. It is working on the fifth wave of a third up. Should get another small correction, a final move up to complete a micro degree fifth wave. So you have a completed impulse. And then on the second wave down, this is very, very supportive of a bullish movement if it holds above support. And this is really when you want to buy. So personally, I had bought this first. I bought the 1-2 here as a swing trade, and then maybe as a position trade. If you're not as nimble, you would buy here. I certainly will be. And that's not only in Ripple, that's in pretty much everything. So in Bitcoin, if we go back to this chart, you can see that I have that mapped out as well. So if I just turn it on to show you guys this, once we get this impulse, completed impulse, if we do, and then a second wave that holds above support, that's when you really want to be buying. And that is the strategy for this week. I will be closely watching for. I will closely be watching to make sure that this support does not break. And if it does, I will be getting out of all of my short-term positions and maybe some of my longer-term positions, but definitely not all of them. As I said, better to play the probabilities. And I will also be watching for, in the bullish case, to make sure that the impulsive move is following as I would expect it to be. And then if it does, which will most likely be in, will likely get completed impulses in the next few, maybe 1 to 2 weeks, and then probably another 2 to 3 week correction for this wave 2, then I will be really watching to get some very nice buy orders in. And that is everything that I want to cover. EOS, another one that looks very good. Ethereum, again, it has that same structure. Now I will move on to the question and answer section. So let me take a sip of tea. Okay. As much as I want it to happen, it's mad to think Bitcoin could go straight up. Is that because of supply and demand? Well, Bitcoin did not go straight up. We just experienced a 6-month correction. 5 months, actually. So we had 5 months where crypto essentially just went down. And I don't think that that is anything to... I don't think that is supportive of the statement that Bitcoin just goes up. But in the longer term picture, yeah, it's very bullish. Unless that $3,000 Bitcoin, unless $3,000 breaks, then we could be in for some real hurt. But until then, I'm looking up. Yes. And it's not because of, well, I guess technically it is because of supply and demand, but it's not necessarily because of fundamental reasons. It's more based on sentiment. So yes, Bitcoin is good for the world, but there are lots of other things that are not good for the world that will pump as well. And that's just based on market sentiment of crypto in general. What do you think about $3,000 Bitcoin predictions? I think at this point, there is no reason to expect that. But if 75.70 breaks, I will start to reconsider it. And I will seriously reconsider it if we break 7,000. All right, other questions? Please do not be shy. I still have about 20 more minutes where I can be live. When does the general public get interested in Bitcoin again like last year? I do not know. All I do know is that I will be using technical analysis to figure out when it is more likely than not that we will get large moves in price. I don't necessarily think that it is good to extrapolate the fundamental reasons for why things happen. I think looking at charts is a better way at this point to do cryptocurrency, to do anything less than very, very long-term cryptocurrency analysis. So, for example, in the long term, I think that Bitcoin will absolutely be worth a very large amount of money. And it is the only coin that I would actually believe in hodling. I don't. I sell because I would like to be profitable in shorter time frames. But there's certainly other things, other projects that people really like that they believe could be around for the very long term. But in the short term, I don't necessarily believe that fundamentals will rule. They'll get interested when it hits all-time highs. Certainly, yes, there will be more interest when it hits all-time highs. But there will also be interest before that and after that. Did you learn all from books and trial and error? I would say that I learned the majority from trial and error. And the second largest source of that was from my father, who has been a trader for over 20 years. I learned an incredible amount from him. And that definitely prevented me from making a lot of other mistakes. And third, yes, I learned it from books and videos, but the majority was definitely doing it on my own and learning from a mentor. So I had two people who mentored me. One was my father, and the other one, not sure if I should name, but very accomplished trader on his own right. And he was the one who really mentored me in Elliott Wave. So I think that seeking external mentors, I mean, our name is Altcoin Mentors, so obviously we think that it is important. You think if the stock market crashes, crypto will crash too? Yes, I do think that. Will crypto boom if the stock market booms? Maybe. I'm not sure about that. But if the market crashes, fear is in general a larger motivator than greed. So yes, I think that if there's a large sentiment that the stock market is going to crash, that people will also start pulling their money out of crypto. Still bullish on Ravencoin? Yes, very bullish on Ravencoin. I have a video that I've produced that will be coming out within the next 2 weeks. Any books that you recommend? I would recommend the Elliott Wave Principle, definitely, for technical analysis, as obviously you guys know that's what I use. And every other book that I recommend is on general trading, mental psychology. So Mark Douglas books, so that is Disciplined Trader, Trading in the Zone. Those are both for getting your psychology right. I would also recommend the Market Wizards series. That is just an interview series of a lot of very successful traders. And I think I'll stop there for books. There's a lot of other ones that helped me personally, but I'm not sure how much they'll be helpful to a lot of other people. A lot of other technical analysis use Elliott Wave, but I seem to make a lot more sense. Yeah, the problem is that most people don't do Elliott Wave correctly. That's why you see it being made fun of so much, because it's very often wrong if you don't have someone who is good at it. So it's not like moving averages or the Ichimoku cloud, where like a price, it is above the cloud, it is below the moving average, whereas there's much more nuance in Elliott Wave, and that's why it's there's a lot more variance in the quality of the analysts. But the biggest mistake that people use with Elliott Wave is not mapping out the waves in context of the larger patterns, and not using logarithmic Fibonacci ratios. Cool. Just keep the questions coming, guys. Did I read the book Reading Price Chart? No, I did not. Can you check P-Chain? P-Chain. I'm going to guess that there is not a chart for this, because I can't even find it on CoinMarketCap. Apparently it's on BuyBox, though. Maybe it's about to be listed. The first native multi-chain system that supports EVM in the world. I'm not sure I know what that means. Um, yeah, it's another Chinese blockchain that has a lot of buzzwords. I'll look into it. Uh, in general, my rule is that if it's not stellar, I don't buy it. By stellar, I do not mean stellar lumens. But yeah, I'll look into it. Thank you for bringing my attention to this. What are your top coins going forward? Fundamentally or technically? Let's see. Technically, let's see what the top of the watch list are. So this is the Mono Portfolio spreadsheet. We're actually going to be moving onto a different platform than a Google spreadsheet. This is because there was an outage in our data source that messed up our portfolio history, so none of these statistics are actually correct anymore. But it still has the watch list. Oh, very interesting. It did change a lot. Just waiting for it to load. The top coins right now are Wanchain, Florin, iExec RLC, Sonum, Pay, Power, BitShares, Storm, Enigma. Yeah. But yeah, the biggest ones are... Wow. Why is Wanchain so... did Wanchain just go lower or something? Florin. Oh, I guess it just... Wanchain hasn't mooned yet. Interesting. Cool. I'll definitely pick up some more of that. Where can you get them on a portfolio? Go to altcoinmentors.com/portfolio. You'll see this page right here and be able to get that email to you straight away. I'm a huge Republic protocol holder. Good stuff. Any new thoughts on it? They've been making some good progress. So you can look up their GitHub and see their commits. If you're not a coder, it's not going to mean a lot to you, but it is cool to see progress, I guess. So you can see their last commit 17 hours ago, and they have lots of commits, very active development. They have a very active blog as well, so they are doing everything that I want to see. I don't have anything to change from the video that I did before. Any stock you recommend just to diversify and not put all the eggs in one basket? You know, I don't do any fundamental analysis on stocks at all. So, no. I do technical analysis on stocks. Actually, at this point, am long Tesla, Google, Baidu. I think that's it. Yeah. But of course, not a personal recommendation. I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own research. There's one more I was along on, but I can't remember it. Do you have a view on XTRD? Oh, Xtrade. I personally do not know why they need a token. Well, I'm assuming XTRD. I'm assuming that's it. I'm just going to look it up to confirm. Yeah, I don't know why they need a token. It just kind of makes the experience worse. So they're just doing it to make money, right? Um, yeah, it's centralized just to raise money. Yeah, I'm not a fan. Not a fan fundamentally. I wouldn't hold this for anything except for a trade because I can't chart it. I'm definitely not going to be using this, or not definitely not going to be holding this. Have I used Catalyst on Enigma? Yes, I have. It's based on Zipline, which is Quantopian's platform, which I like very much. All right. Although I have not used their data marketplace. Any other questions, guys? I'm just trying to clean up my chart right now. It's a little bit messy. OCN. Best coin to trade. Bitcoin has the best leverage and liquidity, or best margin and liquidity available. So, yeah, I like trading Bitcoin very much. But the problem is that there's been a lot of manipulation recently. So the chart patterns it's been a little bit more difficult to do technical analysis on. So this is actually something that I'm struggling with recently because you didn't used to see this level of manipulation. So it was very nice to trade. It's a recent occurrence that it has not been. So I'm actively looking into trading other things. Yeah, the BARTs, exactly. The video is blurry a little bit. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I guess it's a little bit downscaled. Sorry about that. I'll have to fix that too, along with Periscope. Yeah, so I'll be looking into trading right now. Obviously, I have swing trades on Bitcoin Cash. I have a few others on Ripple and EOS, Ethereum. All those have pretty good liquidity and margin, so I'll probably be doing those. The problem is that I still think that I know Bitcoin the best in terms of the chart. I've looked at it pretty much every day for the past year, and probably more than that. So I know how it moves very well. So it'll be interesting. I really hope that there's more liquidity in the market, so that the BARTs go away. What is happening with the BARTs? What's happening is that people with a lot of money are trying to scalp 1% moves in the market by just market buying, and it is being made worse by other algorithms that are doing the same, that are trying to detect it and magnify it. And also, it's possible, but not confirmed, that some exchanges give privileges for high liquidity for liquidity providers that provide information on where people are placing their stops. So people are trying to bring the price to where there's a lot of stops, so that the move is just accelerated even further in the direction that they want. And then they'll have a second account where they accumulate from before that, and yeah, and they make small moves. It's not feasible for someone to really take advantage of if you have a small account. So that's how I know that it's people who have a lot more. Did you cover Zilliqa? I did not, but I can. And while that loads, Odyssey, no, I'm sorry, I did not get to look at it quite yet. Still need to, but I think this is a new website. Looks very slick. Oh, it's listed on Bittrex. very cool. It means I can chart it. Let's see what's happened. OCN BTC times BTC USD. Oh, what the hell? Okay. Is regulation needed for this to go away? Regulation will help if people are if it's being cracked down on, but the main thing that will help is more volume. Is the main thing, so that they just can't do this. They can't move the price as much. Okay, there's not enough information on this for me to make a statement about OCN, but I would assume that it's finishing up it's about to finish up. That this was some sort of 5 of 3. This is now in a 4, and that we get a 5, maybe another 4, 5, and then a second wave down, possibly breaking below this, and then I would buy on that move. But of course, this is all just extrapolating from other charts. So, yeah, I will not be trading this myself, but if you're bullish on it, fundamentally, you could. Ooh, Zilliqa. Good rebound. That's very nice. So I've covered Zilliqa before, where we had a wave 1 here, a expanded flat for wave 2, and then we had this very long very explosive third wave, and had a 4th wave down here. You can see that it did hold above 9 cents, and now it is trying to make its way up to its larger term target, which was between 37 cents and 48 cents. So that could be a pretty nice return. Only getting into trading recently, what are the best indicators to start with? So I actually wouldn't start with indicators. If you go to our YouTube channel, so that is altcoinmentors.com/YouTube. Boom. Click on playlists and then go to how to learn crypto trading. And there's a bunch of good videos that are mainly on successful trading that I highly recommend that you check out. But in a nutshell, trading is not fundamental analysis. And if you're a good analyst, doesn't mean you'll be a good trader. There's lots of ways to do fundamental analysis. Elliott Wave is just one of them. But to be successful in trading, you have to have the correct mindset. Any other questions? I think I'll do the wrap up and then answer any questions that come in during that time. Thank you everyone for watching. If you joined late and missed the intro, my name is Charlie, and I am one half of Altcoin Mentors. The other part is my father, who's been a trader for over 20 years in the traditional markets and is just now getting into cryptocurrency to help all of our followers become better traders and investors, because we truly believe that cryptocurrency is the opportunity of one lifetime and that it should not be missed. If you're not in our Telegram channel already, you can go to t.me/altcoinmentors and get our intra-week, intra-day updates. If you want to get the strategy notes that I've just presented to you, you can go to altcoinmentors.com/strategy, and they will be sent to you right away, and you'll be queued up for the next weeks as well. And if you want to see our model portfolio, which will be changing soon, but don't worry, you'll get it when we do, you can go to altcoinmentors.com/portfolio and get that. finally, last but not least, make sure to subscribe and hit the notify bell if you want to get notified when we go live, have a new video. And also, you can follow me on Twitter at IamCharlieU. And you can follow what my dad posts at altcoin_mentors and get that right away. I know there was a little bit less viewership today because I forgot to turn on Periscope. And I know that there was a problem with the HD video. So I will get those sorted out right away, I promise you. And I will be back next week with all those things sorted out. And hopefully we will have had confirmation of the impulse moves. Thank you very much and have a good night.